No. Riku, come here. Come here. Sit. Stop barking. All right. Firing this back up. Posting in all the places. Welcome, everyone. How many people we got in here? Got one so far. Law was soft. Welcome to the stream. Very rare. I'm finally have some breathing room, so I can actually stream a bit more. Okay. I'll start with a little bit of. I want to do a little bit of refactoring, but we've got some player actions. We've got attack. I've got this dash animation that I need to work through. Same thing with dashing back, and I've got a wall kick that I want to integrate. I'm sorry about Riku. She's loud. All right. There's a bit of refactoring I want to do before integrating this other stuff. But at the same time, refactoring is boring. So why not new features? All right. So we've got this concept of a backdash. Yeah, I live in a zoo. It's great. It's not great. It's fine. Calc block. All right. So like, see, this is kind of repetition here, right? If if left right is pressed and they're not facing the same way as the directional that was pressed, then I want to do a backdash. The question is, it's not a zoo if you have more monitors than animals. I have more animals than monitors. I live in a zoo. Okay, the dash is working, but going the wrong direction. That's cool. Times -1. it's a few too many frames, and it's not lasting as long as I'd like. What about 3? That's fine. And then for the slide, it would be in the direction that you're moving. Did I accidentally dash into the wall? Okay, cool. The recovery frames are a little long, but I think it's workable. What if I set the speed to 4? Hello again, Levy. It's a different game. I won't say that that's on the back burner, but it's kind of on the back burner. Yeah. I can't entirely explain why it's kind of fun. It's not fun. It's having it's having problems becoming fun. The storyline and premise are solid. It's something I want to explore, but the gameplay, yeah, it was also a Metroidvania. I wasn't over time. I became less of a fan of the movement within the game, and I have to rethink something. It's just the gameplay experience isn't super compelling. Okay, but this movement feels good. That feels good. I added a double jump. And then you've got your floaty attacks. The roll I need to do stuff with. I really liked it also. And I think a lot of it can be carried on the storyline and that progression. But yeah, the traversal of the map just doesn't feel right. The roll action feels weird to have it roll there. I think I could, if you're. Let me see. I can release it somewhere just so y'all can play with. You can play with it. Let me, cause I kind of want y'all's feedback on it. I don't think it would. I don't think it would hurt. Where did I put that? Where did I put it? Let me see if I can find the binary real quick. Almost. I have a Windows zip that I generated. Yeah, when I hit a lull, I'll push the release so y'all can try it out. Yeah, all the movement stuff, like the traversal of the biomes was nice and stuff. It's just it's really hard and it's a pain in the ass to actually aim with that like scorched earth, worms Armageddon type of mechanic. It just felt like you were missing more often than you were not, and it's satisfying when you have a nice like aim and hit, but it was just it it happened less often than I would have liked. Okay, so there's the Q action for the roll. So when you land, um, the roll action occurs. So calc action roll. Um, so how many frames is the roll? So you jump. Why is it still doing the speed? Oh, because I didn't save the file, obviously. Yeah, maybe you'll find something else to reuse that theme and concept. I haven't given up on it 100%. I have to figure out the movement. All right, so I want to print out the frames for the roll. All right, so my frame index. Let's make this slow-mo. What's new with you, tech support? There's the jump. All right, and let's see what my roll index ends up being. So around frame 4. Yeah. I remember our talks about the 3-body problem, and we are Legion, we are Bob. One of our, if you want a complete like brain breaking experience, one of our community members built something that was really insane and multidimensional. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I found their page. There we go. This game. And you traverse a non-Euclidean space, and it hurt my brain. And doing multi-dimensional stuff makes me scared. Okay, so it was around frame 4. Okay, frame 4 of the roll. Okay, so the question is like, yeah, what is the current frame that this action is on? So action frame index. So we get our lookup, and then the frame index will be that. Okay, so let's say we've got this. So if the action isn't complete, we want to look at the frame index. And if the frame index is 5, we want to set the DX value. Let's see if that fixes the roll. Still not great. Feels like there needs to be some momentum at the beginning. Whoa, that was a bit too much. Oh my gosh. Let's add some more platform areas. Let's set my target camera. I think I have my target scale set to 2.0. Let's set it to 1.0 for now. Yeah, I need some time to sit down with DragonRuby and make something. I think just everything that I'm doing right now, just all the tweaking that I'm doing, everything's hot loaded, and you forget how freaking magical it is. And I think that's like one of the best aspects of it and what makes it so fun. Okay, action roll. Okay, if the action's complete, so let's say less frames 2. If input request dot left right does not equal 0, Q action run. Lump, stop licking your butt. Good dog. Yeah, that feels good. I tried getting something similar with Fennel. Looks like compiles to Lua, and it promises Badir is far ahead. There is actually... Yeah, Fennel was cool. I've been looking at S7 Scheme, and that's like on my bucket list to build a game engine around. But that feels good right there. That roll feels... You get a weird... you get a tiny... The acceleration's kind of weird, but it's not terrible. Maybe it is a little terrible. Action frame index is less than equal to 5. Less than equal to how many frames does my roll have? 14. Okay. I really love the vibes of Fennel. It feels really lightweight, elegantly designed. I vaguely remember looking at Fennel. Let me see. So there's the one that I was talking about was called S7 Scheme. This one right here. And the list variant is really nice. It's a single header file, which is also really great. The foreign function interface is pretty damn awesome too. But I really liked the embeddability of S7. It was just top notch. Why didn't I go with Fennel? I could have sworn there was a reason. Off the top of my head, I can't remember why I didn't choose Fennel over S7. I imagine the embeddability is pretty great with it. I might have to pick it up again. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Tables and loops functions. Values of Fennel. Yeah. Compile time. Transparency. It looks like the macro support is pretty decent. Yeah, it looks like the macro support's legit. I might have to revisit it again. Janet was another one that I looked at. The problem with Janet is that their fibers, their top level like runtime entry point is a fiber, and doing the synchronization of that was just rough. And one of the reasons I did like Janet was because of its closurous syntax. It was the delineation of like maps and sets and stuff in Clojure are really nice, and that was one of the primary reasons why I looked at Janet first. But yeah, embedding Janet, it's not terrible, but when I want like fixed time step and some of the intricacies of like of a game engine, the top level fiber that Janet initializes is just a pain in the ass. Okay, the roll feels good. The dash, the slide could feel better. Like, okay, if you're blocking, you slide, attack, slide, backdash. All right, those are not terrible. Okay, let's get wall kick working. So the idea is that if you're against a wall, and if you're touching it, then a wall kick should be initiated. Clojure is a nice Lisp. It's interoperability with Java. I mean, I think that's like a prickly point. But I love its multi-methods. I love its concept of records. Having some other like syntax for different syntax for hashes is nice. Its dictionary literals are nice. Its list literals are nice. The what's it call it? The its concept of multi methods can get kind of confusing. I don't disagree with that, but I think the way it introduces polymorphism is good. Okay, so if I'm looking at the collision, if there's a collision on one of those aspects, all right. So I want a concept of maybe touching the right wall and touching left wall. I have no idea if this will work or not. I'm just trying it out. So we set them both to false. If a collision occurs, wait, touching. Let's just start with against wall. We'll just start with that. So against wall is true if input request left right is equal to +1. I like that. All right, so if you're against the wall, so I need to look at jumping. Calc actions jump. I have a jump function. Maybe go to that. So if touching wall, then we'll go ahead and set that value, but we'll queue action wall kick instead. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it's triggering the way I'd want it to trigger. No, it isn't. So calc collisions. Oh, I called it against wall, not touching wall. Maybe? It'd help if I spelled it correctly. All right, jump. There we go. Calc actions. So I run here, jump. But I'm not in the air. So what should happen here? Should I do a wall kick here? Maybe? So let's switch the facing. That looks good. And then DX times 2 maybe? Your games are always awesome. They're insane. And the thought of playing them is terrifying. Twice a year streamer. This I feel personally attacked. I feel personally attacked. Jeez. I try to stream when I can. All right, so let's add some more. Let's see if I can do some like many wall kicks. Jump count. Wall kicks wouldn't consume a jump. That first wall kick works, but then the next one doesn't. Oh, because I'm already in wall kick, I have to... input requests, jump pressed, jump. All right, let's see. All right. Still doesn't... Maybe... Because I set dx equal to 0. And I don't know if I should do that. What happens if I don't set dx to 0? And what about that? There's my double jump. There we go. That looks a little better. The question is, should a wall kick happen if you're not jumping? And that looks kind of... But yeah, I wanted to try to get wall jumps working. The way I do jumps that refresh on landing is jump count gets set to 0 every frame. The player ends the frame touching the ground. And when the jump counter is actually double plus jump. So the counter of 1 would allow only double jumps, i.e. 1 in air. Yeah, so how did I do double jumps? So I've got So I have a calc action jump. And I have a jump pressed. And then inside of the jump function, I subtract the jump count, and if the jump count is less than 0, then I return. Otherwise I queue in the jump. And queue action for the jump needs to force the action. Force equals force. Process next action. or if it's a forced action. For the jump, I'm going to force it to true. So let me make sure my double jump works. Yeah, double jump works. Jump while falling works, and you only get 2 jumps. If you're against a wall, I do a wall kick. The wall kick doesn't seem to wall kick correctly. Maybe this isn't much hearing it read back to me. Whatever works. Seriously, whatever works. Okay, so why isn't that working? Okay, same thing here. I want to force it to true. So now I have this concept of forcing an action. Great. It's feeling really smooth. I like it. Maybe I don't do a wall kick if they're on the ground. And not on ground. And the question is, I guess after a wall kick, maybe your jump count does reset? Why not? So you're running, jump. That feels pretty damn good. Can't wait for wall sliding, where the simple proximity to a wall will cause you to enter a different state. Interestingly enough, I did not see any kind of inside of this asset pack anything related to sliding down a wall, which was annoying. I got roll, dashing. There's a slide, but that's like on the ground, I think. Yeah, so that's on the ground. I did not see anything with respect to slides. There is an edge grab. And that's probably what I want to implement next. Lump. Stop licking your butt. Stop it. Lump. Stop. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Stop the stops. Yeah, so there's an edge grab, but I didn't see any kind of actual sliding on the wall. We've got ladders, sprinting, backdash, knockback, crouch. Wall dash. Oh yeah, okay. So that's what I was just looking at now. And then there's turn. Yeah, there isn't like a slide down wall kind of thing. Maybe I can use the first frame as the wall slide. Okay, so let's try this. If I do /ban. There we go. That worked. I'm assuming that was spam. So I just yes, I learned how to use the mod tools. I learned. I did the learnings. Let's see what the first sprite of the wall kick looks like. Maybe I can use that as a slide. It looks like the second frame I can use as a slide. Maybe the second frame. Yeah, I used the /ban command. It was awesome. It was great. This feels nice. I like the movement. I like the movement. Oh, I just permaban. I don't even bother. Zero tolerance over here. Okay, so for the air attacks, the problem I have right now is this even playable with the keyboard? How would you even play this with the mouse and keyboard? So I guess attack would be left click. Block would be right click. And then movement would be and then I guess up for jump. Let's I'm not sure if I how many of y'all have how many of y'all have game controllers and would like to play around with the feel of this? Z and X. The problem with Z and X is that it's cumbersome. So if I'm running and I jump, I'm still holding. So like if you're pressing D for move left and right, I guess space to jump, J to attack, and K to block. Okay, let's try that. Game.rb. So left right is taken care of, or inputs, keyboard, K for attack, J for attack. Jump would be space. And then what would block be? I guess K. All right, so you're moving. There's your attack. There's your block. Yeah, that doesn't feel terrible. All right, let me add some instructions, and once I had no idea what I was doing, so I went back to using the keyboard and mouse. Consoles weren't particularly common when you were growing up, yeah. Yeah, supporting quote unquote all the things is a thing, unfortunately, especially in this day and age. So let's comment that out. But yeah, I could use y'all's feedback about the controls. Let me put some instructions on the screen. Labels. If inputs.lastActive equals keyboard, x equals 640, y is equal to 60, 30, r 255, 255, 255. Cool. I need to put virtual controls on the screen also. I guess A was that makes sense. That looks about right. And then here it would be directional movement. Yeah, A attack, B jump, R1 block. Cool. And then I want to set the anchor. Last active equals controller, not controller 1. Directional movement, B to jump, A to attack, R1 to block. All right, this feels somewhat releasable. Let me go to my metadata. Game metadata. Am I in the right file? Yep. Amerasian. Mirajan. Castle Ifrit. That looks good. Yeah, I've used game controllers once and I had no idea what I was doing. For some reason these days, like even FPSs, I end up using controllers. And I think a part of it is just being able to just slouch in my chair and look at a screen instead of being hunched over on a keyboard is what is what drives me to use the controller over not using the controller, I guess. You can mod 1 or 2 in chat that help you if they are here. They might have some add-ons that'll help. Gotcha. I'm not fancy enough to have dedicated mods in my chat. I'm just looking at the viewers right now. Pomprox, I don't think I've seen them before. Maybe I have. And RV Santos. This is doing a full build of the engine, so it's going to take a second. While that's happening, I guess I can create the page. Let's create the actual page on my itch. Dashboard. I made a whole $17 on itch.io. It's great. Castle Ifrit. Did I spell that right? Yeah. Playable in web. In development. No payments. Embed in page, yeah. Deploying to itch. What are the resolutions that I have to set? Yeah, 1280 by 720. No touch controls right now. I do want to add those. Genre. Action adventure. I don't know what the best genres are for that. Make it public. Oh, I guess wait, why can't I make it public yet? All right, edit game. Oh, this looks good. This looks good. I think I want to work on enemies next. Castle Ifrit. How did I even come up with that? So I was doing, I forget which game jam that I abandoned this game on. Was it Ludum Dare? No, it wasn't Ludum Dare. I forget which one. But the idea was that I was going to have I wanted to make like a platformer type of game, and what I wanted to do was replicate Super Mario Brothers Castle 4-1. So I started off with just calling it Castle 4-1, and like at the end you'd fight Bowser, where he's throwing his flames, and then you jump across a bridge and use the axe to bring him down, and then Toad tells you that the princess is in another castle. So I started with that, and then I was like, Castle 4-1 does, sounds weird, or maybe people won't know what that is. But then the fireballs and Bowser, so I was like, oh, okay, you've got, Final Fantasy, all the Final Fantasy summons like Ifrit, and then I called it Castle Ifrit. So a facet of this game I'm thinking of is like each one of the bosses is one of the like Final Fantasy 7 Final Fantasy characters or summons. So one of the bosses would be Ifrit, Shiva, all the mythology stuff. And so you go through each one of the castles. Once you beat the boss, maybe you get a power up, like the ability, a special ability with with each of the respective bosses that you beat. But that was the general idea behind it. So it started off as Castle 4-1, and then changed to Castle Ifrit. How is my build coming along? Okay, it's doing stuff. So I guess the short version is I just, what are things I like, and those are the games I want to make. So hopefully the people that like the same things I like will like the title, and that's it. That's how I come up with my stupid ass names. Castle 4-1 isn't terrible either. 1280 by 720. Why did that? Save. Okay. I'll add mobile controls, but I want to work on enemies next. Yeah, I do like that idea also of well, so I mean, if you think about some of the Metroidvanias, there's walls, there's areas you can't access because you have to like burn. You know, you got to have the missiles to break down the wall, right? But yeah, I guess I could have like a central area, and then each one of the castles are around the locations. So up and to the right would be Ifrit, and then so on and so forth. And yeah, some of the areas are high level where you need to have more abilities to actually get through it. That's an approach that I could take. I can rebuild the engine for funsies. I don't like rebuilding the engine though. Okay, so this looks good. Let me see if I can upload it now. Upload files. All the toolchain stuff that you have to build the engine is just so much. HTML, Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi. This file is meant to be played on the browser, Windows, Mac, Linux and Linux. Save, view page. See if it works. Shared array buffers should be enabled. I could have sworn I've done that. I did this. Come on. Rub those two brain cells together. Itch. You can do it. Feels pretty good. And then if you press G on the keyboard, that'll enable God mode, and then you can use Tab and Shift Tab to edit the map. And if you hold X, that should put you in delete mode. Does this save the map per session? I think that'd be pretty cool. I think it does. So if I do this, and then I reload the page, yeah. It looks like it's saved for your given environment. No, I'm falling. All right, try it out. See what I can tweak. I guess I should post a link to the game itself. But yeah, enemies. I think this is worth committing. Yeah, let's add enemies. Something to fight against. Craft picks. Sign with Google. Let's look at enemy assets. We don't need cohesive art. We just need art that... It's all placeholders anyways. It's fine. What kind of enemies do I want? Golem pack. Page 3. Zombies. Orcs. Are we fighting orcs? Let's go with the golems. I just need... I need some placeholder stuff. Mutants? No mutants. We'll go with the golems. Alright, let's download this. Premium download. Woo! Lava golem. I take that back. Let me just get some projectiles. Bullet hell. Is there a bullet hell pack? Bombs and explosions. Look, a circle sprite. I'm wasting time. Ships. I just want bullets. We'll just use solids as a placeholder. Alright. Enemies. Main RB. Let's go into the game. We calc camera. We've done the player stuff. State.bullets. We'll set this equal to an empty array right now, and let's see what happens. Where do I want to put the enemies? I have my terrain types. What is the player's current location? I see the things in chat. Let me do this thing real quick, and then I'll catch up on chat. Okay, players at 100, 768. And we'll put an enemy at a Y. We'll put the, I guess, at 1,000. Sure. Width and height. Path will be solid. Sure. Red enemy. That sounds great. And then where's my render? Outputs scene. State.enemies.map. Yep. To camera space. Unknown keyword bullets. Let's go into the player. Okay, there's our enemy. A little too big. 32 by 32. What the deuce? Why is it still 64? Oh, wrong value. Okay, there's our enemy. Let's see. Enemies already don't involve a lot in a row, including hitboxes and hurtboxes and damage state. Not to mention AI and new assets. Yeah. As far as the assets, I'm using solids. Let's do def calc enemies. Damage state. I need to do something with that at some point. Calc enemies. What do I want to? Maybe bullet spawn rate every 60. Sure. And then for calc enemies, for each enemy, I don't need to move them. If e dot spawn rate, if kernel dot tick count, zmod e dot bullet spawn rate, then I want to add a bullet. Morvamir's beloved FSMS. What is FSMS? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, finite state machines. Is that what I'm doing? Okay, you're alluding to things that I don't know. What are you talking about? I do operate a lot uh, with timestamps as opposed to, I guess, not using timestamps. I don't know. I don't know what the word would be. So we have the bullet spawn rate, 5 dot randomize sign. So we have our bullets, and for each one of the bullets, we'll set the dx and dy, and then I need to render all the bullets. That works. I got to calc enemies at some point. That's great. What is the starting point of the bullets? Yep, just use the enemy at the starting point. Hey, look at that. We've got bullets. They're kind of fast. Yep. White bullets works. That's cool. Maybe bullets have a lifetime. How long of a lifetime? 10 seconds. Outputs.debug.watch. State.bullets.length. All right, let's see if they disappear. I'm at 6, 8. Yep, they're doing their disappearings. Cool. Let's set the bullet spawn rate to something smaller. What about 10? Fancy. That spawn rate might be a little bit too fast now. What about 30? Is my battery going dead on my controller? Maybe. Now the lifetime needs to be higher. 20 seconds. Yeah, my battery on my controller looks to be dying. Do I even want to limit the jump count? Let's not limit the jump count. Let's remove the jump count limit. Let's see how this changes things. And let's go to our player. Now the concept of an attack box. What is that going to look like? Sword box? Let's call it sword box. Sword box would be... I am anchoring on... I think I'm anchoring in the right places. Let's render the sword box, see where it goes. Outputs for the scene. Set the sword box. Merge that with solid. Set blue to 255. Line 404. Merge taking in wrong arguments. Your face. 2 for 1. There you go. It's kind of dim. 255. Is that where I want the sword? What happens if I turn? Always an issue. Anchor. Anchor X and then anchor Y. Damn, that worked. Groovy. Maybe a little bit further out. Yeah, it looks like it. So if I turn, it looks good. Maybe a little bit further out. And a little bit shorter. .32 is correct. There we go. Yeah, the anchors are nice. Maybe a little bit more forgiving. So I have my sword box. A little bit more spaghetti code. If a player dot, I guess attacking return. So players attacking, if it's a light, that looks good. Unexpected keyword. Yeah, right here. So if the player is attacking, we get the enemies. Do I want the first enemy? Let's do the first enemy. Okay, that works. Remember, you want the hitbox to do damage only during the certain frames of the animation. Yeah. Yeah, I eventually want to expand on that. So if I'm in God mode, and if I hit E, it should place an enemy where the player is. Let's do that. So God mode, if inputs.keyboard.keydown, state.enemies, sure, that feels good. Throw an enemy there. Enemy there. Holy crap, that can get overwhelming. I like the movement, though. I like the floatiness of it, or just having all the jumps available to you. And yeah, and remember, you'll want the hitboxes. Yeah, so now the question is, where are the attack frames? Some state transition, some state stuff needs to be added. Let's pass in bullets also. Oh, I am passing in bullets. That's good. Am I passing in enemies? No, the enemies are being handled on the mainframe. That's fine. Why am I passing in bullets? For damage, I guess? Let's go to the game. And then for each bullet, I don't want to delete the bullet. I want to get the angle. Angle to bullet is equal to geometry. What are my geometry functions? angle 2. Start point, end point. All right. Player and bullet. So when I have the angle, I want to then... Why would I want to do a plus 180 against that? That makes no sense. Let's see if that gives me something. It exploded. That's what it gave me. Shit. Just angle 2. It's interesting. God mode. Throw some enemies down. Exit God mode. That's some cool effects. Dodging in the air might be a thing that I want to add. So when you're jumping and you press R1 in the air, it should do a air dodge of sorts. Calc jump. If input requests player.tick. Queue action. What action do I want to queue? I want to queue slide. And I want to set the dy equal to 0, maybe? I want to do this on jump and fall. I wish I could explain why I'm going down this exploratory thing. I think a part of me is like thinking about movement in Smash Brothers, and just thinking about how that movement feels. And having air dodge is one of those things that you have. So you Q action slide. The DY should be the same as when you do an air attack. DY is 4. And then DX would be maybe that? Sure. And then I want this to happen on jump and fall. That's... Woo! That might be a bit too much. And I probably want to do another state instead of doing slide. It is a lot of bullets. And like in Returnal, they don't come... They come in like shapes and rings and stuff, and not randomized like this. So you have boundaries that you can actually work through. I'll change that next. So Q action air dodge. My DX is set to the way the player is facing multiplied by the run speed, which is weird because I'm not seeing. So see that worked. Oh, but because I'm hitting left and right, I guess. But I'm not falling. So why would the DX be changing? I'm not blocking. So Q action air dodge. And then within the air dodge itself, or calc air dodge, calc air dodge. And then how did I do the elapsed time? I did that inside of roll. So there's some repetition and some concepts that are, yeah, like action frame index is what I was using. And then how many frames does the slide have? 10 frames. And then for the air dodge itself, I still want to set dy equal to 4. Doesn't feel great. That's way too much. Woo! So maybe 2. And then we'll fix the enemy bullets. Maybe set DY to 5. And then in the air dodge state itself, for the air dodge, I need to set the facing. If input request left right does not equal 0, set it to the sign. All right, so let's fix the enemy bullets now. Calc enemies. We'll set the spawn rate back to, let's do 5 seconds. And then for the bullet spawn rate itself, yeah, bullet deflection right there. And yeah, for the, so how many bullets? Maybe 20? Uh, 360, 20, so 18. So the angle will be that. Created at, lifetime would stay, path will be solid, dx will be angle dot vector x, dy will be angle vector y. Whoa! Way too many bullets. There we go. The slide is still too much. Wait, not slide. Air dodge. Calc air dodge. Let's get our enemies back. Kind of gets a Returnal vibe. I don't know. Enemy AI is not going to be fun. What do y'all think? The air dodge still feels a little slow. I do like the infinite jump though. Has everyone went to sleep on my stream? I think that's what's happened. They're like, this game is boring. What about times 1.5? Air attack 1. Same thing with Air Attack 2. Down smash would be nice. Wall kick. And how many frames are in the wall kick? Air dodge. How many frames do I have in my air dodge? I'm just exploring right now. I have no idea. Just still trying to get a feel for the movement of the player. The movement's feeling good. That was a weird... Gotta fix that. That didn't fix that. What the hell? All right, so let's say you start with this enemy here. And does that feel like a good first enemy? So you drop into screen here. There are the bullets. And there you see the enemy. And you kill it. Maybe. Oh, I'm in attacking frames. All right, there we go. Bullet deflection could be faster. Yeah, that feels better. Smaller hitbox for the sword. This might be a good stopping point just to think about what I've done so far. That doesn't feel too terrible. All right, so let's... I'll do one more release and call it a night. So there's your floor. And then the enemy location will be what? $1060,188. Okay, you land. Bullets are coming in. And then you kill the enemy. I think that feels okay. What is the player's starting point? Respawn player. Calc enemies. State dot bullets dot each. If geometry respawn the player. And that was weird. Output scene. Player, do I have a collision box? Calc collisions. Body box. Okay, that works. If I'm blocking, yeah, it doesn't hit the player. If the action is a block, then I want the angle. What the hell's happening there? Okay, that's good enough. All right, I think I've got some ideas as far as movement, the speed of the game, potentially quasi-bullet hell, Returnal style mechanics. Got to figure out enemy AI state of flow stuff, but it's enough to sleep on. Ship it. Okay, I think that's a good place to stop the stream. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I'll get this on YouTube also. But yeah, if any of y'all get a chance to play what's currently published and have any input on the movement and the feel of the movement, that would be helpful for the next time I stream, which will hopefully be sooner than 6 months. I'll probably end up streaming maybe on Thursday. Possibly, maybe. But I think it's starting to feel pretty good. I need to get touch controls in play too, just to see how it feels on mobile. Make sure it's slow enough and easy enough to control on a mobile device. That's one of the reasons for the speed being what it is, having it be a little bit more deliberate. But we'll see how that goes. Anyways, y'all have a good night.